in the last 20 years, I've been wanting to make a change. So this Changemaker word really means a lot to me. When I was 14, I left home of Taiwan and went to New Mexico in the US. And then in the late 90s, I moved to Nova Scotia in a small town. And I faced a lot of racism when I was younger. And I realized in that moment there is so much power in mainstream media and in all kinds of forms of storytelling that it has impact on us as humans, indirectly or directly, to our values, our perception to each other, and our value, how we see the world, really. So then I decided to go into arts, go become a storyteller. In 2003, I made my first black and white 60mm film, and it was about racism. 13 years later, I got my first federal and provincial funding to investigate the evolution of Chinese language and social political discourse in relation to the power of authorship, systemic erasure, and the deeper values in rituals, shamanism, and spiritual embodiment. In this project, it comes back to that question of who gets to have the say of who we are, our values, and how we see the world. And luckily, this project went to so many places, including the Museum of Anthropology, Digital Carnival Festival, Richmond World Festival, Vancouver Art Gallery, Center A, Vancouver New Music Festival, Heart of City Festival, Surrey Art Gallery, Pretty Good Not Bad Festival Victoria, Lake Studio Berlin, and Isadora Werkstatt in Berlin, and El Granier Center for Creation of Dance and Performing Arts in Barcelona. So you can see that many museums and galleries this project has visited, and I want to thank BC Museum Association to recognize this obscure effort of hard work from a non-visual art or a non-museum based artist like myself. You know, how part of the work is to really think about, like, people, we are stuck on the old paradigm, right? This old way of working. You know, we're stuck on the same stories that we're trying to tell. And how do we break through these boundaries and find new ways of working, new ways of storytelling, conjuring new forms together, right? So a lot of my work is really centering on interdisciplinary kind of investigation, a very experimental and grassroots way of working. So in this kind of obscure form, it's really, you rarely get any kind of recognition, and not to win any awards, you know. So this really means a lot to me, and to a lot of grassroots on the ground, you know, interdisciplinary, groundbreaking artists that are doing things outside of the box, you know, and pushing the edge. This really means a lot to us. I really want to thank my new media mentor who was breaking boundary and innovating new forms, Mark Klingel, the creator of this amazing artist-driven software, Isadora. Thank you, Trocatronics, the company. I want to thank Dr. Henry Daniel for bringing me to the world of dance technology. And lots of gratitude to Canada Council for the Arts and BC Arts Council and all the arts workers who's been working so hard behind the scene, being part of the bigger system to make this change together. Lastly, I want to thank Caroline McCall, who's my twin flame and my partner, who suggested this nomination, Annie Ling, who's our administrator, who helped support us through this process. And thank you everyone in the Chimerix Bushang team and my family. Together we are the Changemakers. Thank you so much.